young love, aren't weddings so romantic? Two people pledging their love to each other for the rest of their lives. But what if I told you that planning for the end of a marriage could make your marriage stronger? I'm Kalilah Reynolds, and it's time for another episode of Money Mondays JA. Let's talk about prenups. Money Mondays JA is brought to you by Proven Wealth. Visit provenwealth.com to speak to an investment advisor today and follow We Are Proven on social media. Before we get started, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and click the bell icon so that you can be notified whenever there is a new video. Also subscribe to my newsletter at KalilahReynolds.com/newsletter to receive a transcript of this episode. You're going to get what's hot in business, investment alerts, and other cool stuff such as promo codes on my merch. All right, so when thinking about getting married, it's easy to get caught up in the dress and the flowers or the cake, and you get busy fantasizing about the long and happy life that you and your partner will share together. So, of course, the last thing that you want to do is consider the possible end of that future. And that's the first thing people think of when they hear the word prenup. So a prenuptial agreement, or a prenup, is a type of contract created by two people before entering into marriage. And though it sets out property rights and responsibilities throughout the duration of a marriage, it's commonly invoked at the end of one. Hence, in popular culture, having a prenup is seen as planning for divorce. But what if instead of planning for divorce, we looked at prenups as a method to protect your finances, both individually and as a couple? So as the saying goes, love makes people do crazy things. It clouds your better judgment. And when entering into a serious relationship, getting engaged and then getting married, many couples tend to gloss over important but uncomfortable conversations such as finances. You trust your partner and you figure, hey, if we're compatible romantically, then we must also be compatible financially, right? Prenups have a bad reputation in our society, but they may be the key to helping couples have that uncomfortable conversation. Drafting a prenup allows you and your partner to outline your financial expectations for your marriage. Maybe both of you have financial goals that you hope to accomplish now that you are combining your two incomes, such as owning a house or saving for retirement. Now, as a contract, you can also detail each partner's financial responsibilities, such as who is responsible for paying the bills or the mortgage and how every penny is spent, saved, and invested. A prenup would also help you to gauge you and your partner's different financial management styles and spending habits. You may not be aware of how your partner spends money until after you've joined your finances to theirs. And joining your finances may be a significant influx of cash, but to quote Biggie, more money, more problems. You and your partner need to sit and discuss how that excess money will be used. Better to find out your partner is a shopaholic before the wedding and before their next shopping spree. So if you recall the infamous divorces of Jeff and Mackenzie Bezos, Bill and Melinda Gates, or Kanye West and Kim Kardashian, then you'll remember that prenups, or the lack thereof, were a prominent issue in the media. Mackenzie Scott walked away with $38 billion in Amazon shares after her split from Jeff Bezos, reportedly the largest divorce settlement in history. They didn't have a prenup. They got married before Amazon was this mega global behemoth, and that's exactly the point. Get a prenup before you get rich. Prenups are drafted to consider each couple's financial situation. For less wealthy couples, this can mean protecting their earning potential. Maybe at the time of your marriage, you didn't have much, but you didn't intend to be broke forever, especially if you've signed up for my masterclass. But your earning potential may come to fruition several years into your marriage. Now, for couples with a significant salary difference, both partners can benefit, not just the wealthier one. Whether you realize it or not, even if you're not absurdly wealthy, you do have financial interests to protect. Do you or your partner have significant debt, such as credit cards? Do you own a business or have a stake in someone else's business? Have you quit your job to raise your children? And are you financially dependent on your partner? Those are a few examples of financial interests that can be addressed in a prenup. And a prenup between less wealthy partners may be more beneficial because there's less money to divide. With a net worth of $170 billion, Jeff Bezos isn't starving even after paying out $38 billion to McKinsey. But for less wealthy couples, dividing less money would be a larger financial burden. Plus, it's protection from paying off someone else's debt or financial insecurity from leaving your career. Now, divorce is the issue that nobody ever wants to consider, especially during the honeymoon phase of your marriage. But hear me out. Divorce is a possibility for every marriage, and divorce proceedings can take years, especially if both parties are constantly going to court to divide every asset. Having a prenup can shave years off of those proceedings. Depending on how long you've been married, it may be difficult to keep track of who owned what before and during the marriage, and what assets were individual property versus marital property, meaning both of you owned it jointly. But your prenup makes the divorce smoother since it's a contract where both parties already agreed on some of those issues. Without a prenup, it will be up to your court's jurisdiction to decide who owns what when dividing assets. And while that could end in your favor, it would be a safer bet to just have a prenup stating those facts. Considering a prenup isn't a roadmap towards divorce, nor is it an indicator that you don't love or trust your partner. Instead, it's falling in love with your brain turned on. Prenups may not sound romantic, but financial stability is the new sexy. That's it for this episode of Money Mondays JA. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and sign up for my newsletter at KalilahReynolds.com/newsletter, and take my Investing for Beginners Masterclass at KalilahReynolds.com/masterclass. You can click the links in the description box below. Also follow me on Twitter and Instagram at Kalilah Ray, and on Facebook at Kalilah Reynolds Media. And find us on your favorite podcasting platforms. We're on Spotify, Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Audible, all over the place. I'm Kalilah Reynolds. Let's get this money. Money Mondays JA was brought to you by Proven Wealth. Visit provenwealth.com to speak to an investment advisor today, and follow We Are Proven on social media.